metformin is the drug that people have known about since the 1920s. Interesting data. Originally, it was used for influenza, and it's antiviral.
Wow. Didn't know that. Good to know.
I'll just leave that there. But maybe some of these other compounds could help with our current dilemmas. It's something that needs to be explored for sure. But metformin is the most popular glucose disposal agent, works via AMPK, AMP kinase, and it's super effective at lowering blood sugar, increasing ketones, enhancing insulin sensitivity. We've definitely seen data that lowering insulin chronically over a lifetime can lead to, elevated growth hormone, telomeres staying longer, rapamycin, being more ideal, all these kinds of things that are associated with anti-aging. When insulin is lower, you have slower, essentially biological aging and less disease. So we've seen that correlation that insulin is higher, then we have faster biological aging, more disease, and more metabolic dysfunction. So we're meant to be metabolically flexible. And we're in a state right now where we're just too sedentary. We're eating too often, too high glycemic carbohydrate, too many calories, too much stress, not enough sleep. I mean, to all the points we were just making, those are the differences than what used to be. And no, I don't think everyone needs to be keto. If you look at all these other cultures, like that's the difference. They do sleep. They are highly active. They have complex carbohydrates. They do relax and connect with each other, and they have de-stressing techniques. And
and they're not overeating all of.
They're not overeating.
They're walking.
They fast. They fast all the time. So yeah, it's so different, and I do think keto is effective given a lot of what's going on with our metabolic dysfunction.
Right.
So someone in Africa doesn't need to eat keto, but someone in America that's highly overweight, metabolically dysfunctional, it makes sense to me. So that's
100% agree.
The difference.
Yeah.
So berberine is the herbal equivalent essentially of metformin, very similar. And by the way, metformin is in a study right now with over 10,000 people.
Nice.
It's a massive study on anti-aging.
Cool.
So it's been looked at for over 20 years in anti-aging, not just with, obviously, if you're diabetic, like type 2 diabetic, it's going to be very potent in anti-aging and improving your health. But they've even shown with people that are highly insulin sensitive and are far from diabetic, normoglycemic, that they benefit from the anti-aging effects as well. And it's one of those things that you almost can't get too low in hemoglobin A1C or can't get too low in CRP. These are things they're just massively anti-aging no matter how low you get them. So,
and real quick, can you explain what those are?
Hemoglobin A1C is a longer term indicator of blood glucose, blood sugar. And CRP is an indicator of inflammation in the body, C-reactive protein. Scientists might look at some other things that aren't as easy to snapshot, like IL-6 and some of these other compounds, but that's the easy one for just, when you go get blood work at Quest or whatever, to look at CRP, hemoglobin A1C, etc.
Yeah. Okay, so berberine.
So berberine actually outperforms metformin head-to-head in a study. So the herbal equivalent is actually more potent. Plus, metformin's been shown to lower B12. It was actually pulled off the market last year for being tainted, and about a third of people have GI distress from metformin.
Okay.
But what we see, berberine, again, is superior, and even more interesting is dihydroberberine, which berberine converts into dihydroberberine in the gut. And it's about 5 times more bioavailable as a result. And berberine and metformin do have bioavailability issues. That's kind of why the GI distress thing happens. And
cool.
It's in its active form as dihydroberberine, and it lasts about twice as long in the blood plasma. So you have to take much lower doses, and you take it less frequently if you take dihydroberberine, and you don't have the GI distress.
So let's say somebody's used to a 500 milligram dosage of berberine, which would be typical. What would the dosaging be for the dihydroberberine?
100 to 150 milligrams twice a day.
Wow.
So
is that easy to find?
Yeah, it's under the brand name 𝐂𝐭.
Okay, thanks. I'm all taking notes over here.
No worries.
Thanks, Sean.